Ad Astra 2019, full story and creators. Creators and production details. Directed by James Gray, written by James Gray, Ethan Gross. Produced by Brad Pitt, Dee Dee Gardner, Jeremy Kleiner, and others. Music by Max Richter. Starring Brad Pitt, Tommy Lee Jones, Ruth Negga, Donald Sutherland. Ad Astra is a visually stunning sci-fi film that blends the classic space exploration genre with deep psychological drama. The film follows Roy McBride, Brad Pitt, a highly skilled astronaut, on a journey to the outer edges of the solar system to find his father, H. Clifford McBride, Tommy Lee Jones, who went missing decades ago during a mission to Neptune. Full story summary. Opening and Roy McBride's background. The film opens with Roy McBride working on a space antenna project on Earth. He is an astronaut in the United States Space Command, Spacecom Teleyingthif. Roy is known for his calm, composed demeanor in the face of danger. However, a mysterious, massive power surge threatens Earth, and Roy's father, Clifford McBride, a legendary astronaut, is believed to be the source of it. Clifford was the commander of a mission called Project Lima to search for intelligent life on the far reaches of the solar system, but he lost contact 16 years ago, and he is presumed dead. The power surges coming from Neptune suggest that Clifford is still alive, and his actions may be causing catastrophic damage to Earth. Mission to Neptune. Roy is called in by Spacecom and informed that the surge is connected to Clifford's mission, and they need him to travel to the Moon, then Mars, to send a message to Clifford and stop the surge. Roy is tasked with traveling to Neptune, where his father is believed to be, and to shut down the power source responsible for these dangerous surges. His journey involves several space stations and encounters, beginning with a trip to the Moon, where he encounters space pirates and military personnel. Along the way, Roy's emotions and memories of his father surface, especially his feelings of abandonment and resentment toward Clifford, who he believes left him for his mission. Personal struggles and psychological themes. Throughout his journey, Roy is faced with the weight of solitude, the psychological trauma of isolation in space, and his complex relationship with his father. The film explores themes of duty versus personal life, loneliness, and the human need for connection. Roy frequently recalls moments from his childhood with his father, which were overshadowed by his father's obsession with his mission. Roy's journey is not only a physical one to Neptune, but also an internal one of reconciliation with his father and his own identity. As Roy gets closer to finding his father, he must confront the truth about what happened to Clifford, and whether the man he thought he knew is the same person he will find. The final confrontation with Clifford. Once Roy reaches Neptune, he boards the lost space station and discovers his father is still alive, but emotionally and physically deteriorated. Clifford reveals that he has been lost in the pursuit of alien life, becoming obsessed and disconnected from his own humanity. He believes that humanity should no longer depend on Earth and should venture out into the stars, even if it means sacrificing human connections. Roy attempts to reason with him, urging him to return home and stop the surges. However, Clifford's obsession leads him to reject this, and he dies in an attempt to destroy the space station. The conclusion. In the final moments of the film, Roy decides to return to Earth. He comes to terms with his father's obsession and chooses a different path, focusing on human connection rather than the cold, solitary pursuit of the unknown. The movie ends with Roy's reflections on his journey and his desire to reconnect with the world and people around him. Themes and cinematic elements. Ad Astra explores the psychological isolation of space exploration, the cost of obsession, and human connection. The visual style, including breathtaking shots of space and the planets, reflects the vastness of the universe and the emotional emptiness of Roy's journey. The film is often compared to 2001, A Space Odyssey and Apocalypse Now for its introspective approach to space exploration and father-son relationships. Legacy and reception. The film received mixed to positive reviews, with praise for Brad Pitt's performance and the visuals, but some found the pacing slow. Ad Astra is a more meditative and philosophical approach to the sci-fi genre, focusing on emotionally driven storytelling rather than action or spectacle. Awards and nominations. Nominated for an Academy Award for Best Visual Effects. Won the Best Director Award at the Venice Film Festival for James Gray's visionary direction. Would you like more details on the film's reception or its visual effects?